Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I thought it would be fun if I shared with you some taco night ideas. All of these are so easy and they are recipes that I have made the last 4 weeks for taco night. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and get some good ideas out of it, but let's go ahead and get started and I will show you how to make them. First up today, we are going to make these easy taco bowls. I've shared these before on my channel, but they are definitely one of our favorites to have. I'm going to start by preheating my oven to 350 degrees, and now over into my skillet, I'm adding in 1 pound of ground beef. I also chopped up half of a yellow onion. I'm adding that in there as well, and I'm going to let these two cook in here together. I got these fun little tortilla molds off of Amazon. I will have them linked below for you. Me and my husband loved to use these. When I was a kid, either my mom's house or my dad's house, I can't remember which, they had these and I loved when they would use them for dinner. So I did buy some once I moved out. And I just love these things. We use them all the time. You just have to take a tortilla, you add it straight into the little bowl, press it down so that it fits on all the edges. And then these go in the oven to bake for anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes. Until the edges are turning a nice golden brown and they are nice and firm. Once my ground beef was done cooking, I did go ahead and drain off the grease. And now we're just going to go ahead and add in 1 can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. I love making my taco meat like this just because it extends the taco meat a little bit. And then I'm also adding in some taco seasoning. This is about equivalent to 1 package of taco seasoning. Here's what the taco shells look like once they come out of the oven. As you can see, they are now a bowl shape and they hold their shape really nicely. Now to get started on the chopping, I'm just chopping up a little bit of red onion, some iceberg lettuce, a little bit of Roma tomato, and some avocado. Feel free to use any toppings that you like. And now to start building my bowl, I always like to layer it, so I add just a little bit of taco meat into the bottom, a little bit of shredded cheese, and I like to have mine more as a salad, so I add a ton of lettuce in there. Then I layer on a little bit more of the taco meat, more of the shredded cheese, and then I add on the rest of the toppings that I just chopped up, the tomato, the onion, and the avocado. I love spiciness, so I went ahead and added some jalapenos on there, of course some sour cream, and then just a little bit of hot sauce. Here is what my finished bowl looked like when it was all done. I do like to cut up a lime and squeeze a little bit of lime juice over the top. It just gives it a little bit of a tang and a nice fresh taste. And then you can eat this with a fork out of your bowl, or you can take the tortilla and start breaking it apart and kind of eat it like nachos. It was kind of hard to do this with one hand, but you'll just dip it right in your filling. But that's it. That's all there is to it. Next up, we are going to make a new recipe. These are loaded nacho fries. I went ahead and preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and then over onto my cutting board, I have about 7 medium-sized russet potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and peel those, slice them, and then turn them into little French fries. When cutting these, you just want to make sure you're getting them all around the same size. Once they're cut up, you're going to add them into a bowl of some nice cold water and let them sit for about an hour. This will help to remove any extra starch off of the French fries. To make the seasoning for this, I am adding 1 teaspoon of sugar into this bowl along with 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. After about an hour, you can go ahead and drain off your fries, dry them with a paper towel, and now you're just going to add some avocado oil or olive oil in here, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Once that's mixed together, you can go ahead and start adding in the seasoning. I added just a little bit, gave it a good mix, added some more, gave it another mix, and then added some more. I feel like this really helps to distribute the seasoning a little bit better. Now you're just going to add half of this bowl onto a baking sheet. I lined mine with aluminum foil just to help keep them from sticking. I cooked these on 2 separate pans just to make sure that they had room to get nice and crispy, but these went in the oven to bake for around 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I mixed them around and then put them in for an additional 10 to 15 minutes until they were tender in the center but crispy on the outside. Once they're done, you can add them onto your plate and start building your nacho fries from there. You can also just build these on the baking sheet, but I decided just to do them on each of our plates so we could make them how we wanted them. I added on some taco meat, some nacho cheese, some shredded cheese, and then after that you can customize them however you want to. Here is what my plate looked like. I love all the toppings. I have lettuce, tomato, onion, jalapenos, hot sauce, sour cream, all the things on mine. I just love them all together like this. This dinner is messy though, so I did use a fork here. Overall, I thought the seasoning was pretty good. I'd never used this specific recipe before, so I will link it below for you. I would definitely make it again. Up next, we're making another new recipe today. We are making these Chipotle chicken tacos in the crock pot. You will need to add in 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth, 1/4 a cup of honey, 2 Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. I've never used these before. This was my first time using them in a recipe and I really liked them. I just chopped them up into nice small pieces with a little bit of the sauce. Then you'll add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I am just going to go ahead and give this a good mix together and get all of that combined in my crock pot. Next, I'm adding in these chicken thighs. This is a little bit less than the recipe called for, but it's what I had in my house. So I went ahead and added those in there and broke them apart the best I could and kind of got them mixed in that sauce. This chicken will cook on a low heat for right around 5 hours. Once the chicken is done, it will look like this in your crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and just remove all that chicken onto a plate for just a moment. Into this little bowl, I've added in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch along with just a little bit of water. I'm going to mix this together and then add it into the juices of the crock pot. Give it a little stir and then add the lid and let this kind of sit in here while you are shredding up your chicken. Once the chicken is shredded, go ahead and add that back into the crock pot. Give this another good mix together and then I let this sit in the crock pot for about 30 minutes. Once the sauce has thickened up a little bit, you can go ahead and eat these. On mine, I had some red onion. I did not make the pickled onions like the recipe called for just because I knew I would be the only one eating them. But I added the red onion, some avocado, sour cream, and feta cheese. I also sprinkled just a little bit of lime juice over the top, and we ate these in some street tortillas, and these were amazing. I will definitely be adding these into my rotation. These were just so great. Both of us loved them. Last but not least, this is another favorite in our house. We're making some naan bread taco pizzas. I preheated my oven to 375 degrees, and now over into my skillet I am adding 1 pound of ground beef with half of a yellow onion that I chopped up. I'm now just going to let these cook in here together. While that's cooking in the back here, I'm going to go ahead and get some refried beans started. I added in 1 can of traditional refried beans with a scoop of sour cream, a couple dashes of chili powder, and a couple dashes of cumin. I'll just give that a mix together and let this finish warming up on the back of my stove here, but that's really all you need to do to those. For this, I did not add any tomatoes into my sauce this time. I'm just making some regular taco meat today. But once this taco meat is done, you can go ahead and start building your pizzas. Onto my baking sheet, I added my 2 pieces of naan bread. These are large ones, but you could also use the minis if you wanted to. Now you're going to take those refried beans and add a nice big scoop to your naan bread. This is going to be the base of your pizza. On top of the refried beans, you'll add your taco meat. You could use all of the taco meat on here and make these really loaded with the ground beef, or you can just put a little bit on and you can end up making about 4 of these total if you wanted to. On top of the taco meat, you'll add some shredded Mexican style cheese. And then these are going in the oven to bake for right around 12 to 15 minutes. This is just going to allow your naan bread to crisp up a little bit and become a little bit more firm and melt the cheese. While that's in the oven, you can prepare your toppings. I like to have some lettuce, tomato, and avocado. This is what they should look like coming out of the oven. My husband will eat his with just a little bit of sour cream and hot sauce on his, so I don't really touch his, but this is what mine looks like in the end. Like I said, I like to add all the toppings. I also added on some sour cream, jalapenos, and hot sauce. Most of my toppings fell off when I tried to pick this piece up, but that's okay, you kind of get the gist of it. These are really easy, and they can be really kid-friendly. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope this video gave you some fun new ideas to try out. Don't forget to leave me a flower down below in the comments if you did make it all the way to the end of today's video, and I will see you back here next time. Bye!